How good did that frickin' feel, baby? A victory, a dub for the New York Jets. Juicy. And we're going to get into all the details here on the postgame show. Let's roll. Zoinks! It is unequivocally the Super Bowl for New York Jet fans. Field Yates, baby. Field gosh darn Yates. Let's bring him on the show. Come on, people. Connor Rogers is joining the show. What's up, Connor? But Trevor gosh darn Sycamore, baby, for me, personally, my favorite New York Jet of all time.
Wow, it's great to be on. What an intro that was right there.
Paul, nobody does an intro like you, man.
Paul, you give the best intro of literally any podcast that I've ever been.
I'm gonna lose my gosh darn bananas. Chef's kiss. Beautiful. Hey, everybody. My name's Paul Heston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green of the New York Jets, digital reporter for Heavy.com. This is the Jets postgame show. We do it about 2 hours after the final whistle, where we jump on here. We're streaming live to the Heavy on Jets Facebook page. Over 40,000 New York Jet fans. YouTube.com/BoyGreen25 and on Twitter @BoyGreen25. I got a little pep in my step, baby. Finally, the 5-game losing streak comes to a screeching halt as the New York Jets get the blowout victory over the gosh darn Houston Texans. That just felt good because, first off, of course, the Jets haven't had a lot of wins this season. This was only the 5th win of the season, but it snapped a 5-game losing streak. Things were getting dark there. We were thinking people were talking about tanking, and people were talking about, losing out and all these things, a potential 10-game losing streak and the horribleness of that would exist. And the vibes were piss poor. They were terrible because the Jets had been in a funk. They couldn't do anything offensively. It seemed like, from a post-game perspective of doing this show 2 hours after every game, that it was the same script. Terrible offense, terrible play calling, shooting themselves in the foot, great defense, but the same shish kebab every day. But this time, the Jets offense took it to another level. It didn't seem like that. You had a scoreless half for the first time in 4 years. No points for the Texans, no points for the Jets. You're like, oh boy, here we go once again. But that the Jets offense, when you're trying to turn the key, blah, 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 vroom. And then the Jets offense was freaking going, baby. It felt spectacular. Shout out to Zach friggin' Wilson, who had one of the best games of his career. Robert Sala called it probably the best game of his career. A couple of notes and quotes we'll get in here. You guys can also join us on the Cam 631 Laser Hotline if you'd like. That link is pinned to the top of our YouTube channel, everybody. This is the sponsor of our show. Again, custom laser engraving by Cam. He's a New York Jets fan, and he could give you some holiday gifts before we get to Christmas. Guys, make sure you check him out. Help support a fellow Jets fan who's also supporting this show. Knives, business cards, pens, license plates, cars, motorcycle parts, whatever. Reach out to him, Cam at 631laser.com, or call him 631-31-LASER for supporting the show all year long. Any inquiries or any love you could send him would be much appreciated. So feel free to do that. So just click that link. As long as you're in a relatively quiet place and I can see you on video, you'll be in our green room and we'll bring you up on the program. So make sure you do that. I'm fired up, baby. This is friggin' phenomenal. It feels great to be talking about a New York Jets win. All the funk. That's just quite frankly what it was, a funk, and the Jets burst out of it. There's so much to get into. So let's get to it. The Jets win 30-6 over the Houston Texans. Friggin' amazing. And Zach Wilson, 27 of 36, 301 passing yards, his third 300-yard passing performance of his career. 2 tutties, no picks. He did have the one fumble. I thought he got a little aggressive in an early down situation, kind of getting a little frisky, willy-nilly with the football, and then ultimately the ball got punched out. So when he got into the clear, he probably should have slid. He did not, but it's hard to nitpick this performance because it was one of the best of Zach Wilson's career. There's just no other way about it. And this gets us into the complicated nature, which of course we could talk about. We have a video currently up on the channel talking about a twofold report. there's report numero uno that Zach Wilson was told that he will be traded this offseason ahead of getting that start back for the New York Jets. So there's that floating out in the universe that report came out. We have that article up on Heavy on Jets. And then the other part of a different report was Rich Cimini of ESPN said an NFL personnel executive spoke to him and believed that the Jets could get a 5th-round pick for Zach Wilson this offseason. A lot of people got to roll their eyes at a 5th-round pick for Zach Wilson. What has he shown? Well, you see that he has the potential to make some things happen, and he certainly orchestrated that. So we'll get more into that. We're talking about, can Zach Wilson save himself with the Jets? Can the Jets go to the playoffs? Playoffs! We can talk about that as well here on the show as well. But let's go to that Cam 631 laser hotline. It is already popping. I'm not surprised. So people, like I said, feel free to do that. Here is the details. Hello to my daughter in the other room. Yes, I could hear you loud and clear. Thank you very much. Cam 631 laser. Okay, a little too loud on the haze. All right. Anywho, let's go right to it. We have NY Jets FL joining us here on the postgame show. What's up, brother? Victory Sunday. It's phenomenal.
Hey, Paul, kudos to your daughter, who's probably a budding broadcaster herself. So she's getting her pipes wet on this one. Paul, you called it this morning. I don't know if you were being facetious or not, but we saw Kansas City Chief Jack. We saw Kansas City Chief Zach. We saw Nathaniel Hackett Zach. We potentially saw the Eagle Zach Wilson. I just don't know where to go. Where we go from here. Like, there's the flashes. I guess time will tell against the Dolphins. You know, if he can continue this, I guess this is the week to do it. But all I thought about was, after we got the first touchdown, was if we score again, the game's over. They're not going to come back against this defense. Paul, I can dream now. Okay, I can dream now. I wish we had another win. I wish we beat the Falcons. Yeah. There were so many games. If we had a darn semblance of an offense, we could probably be over 500. That part is so frustrating, Paul. It's just, but you can't go back. Zach was amazing today. Like Salah said, Zach played the best game of his career. You could see the offense, how it works when he had a clean pocket a lot of the game. He felt comfortable. There was a rhythm to the offense. There was balance to the offense. I don't think Nathaniel Hackett was afraid to call plays. Zach threw up the 50-50 balls constantly. Conklin with these catches. Garrett was targeted. And I'm sure the defense was definitely juiced after seeing Zach, and they'd be like, whoa, we're getting Kansas City Zach here. I mean,
and think about, just real quick, think about how many times this season the Jets have played with a significant lead and their defense is like, okay, let's go. So I think you're right, which, by the way, is none. They haven't had these kind of games like this against the Texans where they were up and the Texans are pressing a little bit. They like passing anyway, but they were pressing even more, knowing the score, which allowed the Jets defense to get after them a little bit. So yeah, it was phenomenal. It was fantastic to see that. And absolutely not, I was a big facetious. This morning I said, baby, I see it. This Texan team, while they're playing above their heads in a lot of ways as they came into this game at 7-5, they are a baby version of the Jets. I remember how horrible, and I'm sure a lot of Jets fans do, in 2021, how bad the defense was and how early it looked from those San Francisco principles. So I just thought, when you think about the Texans being so early in their development from that standpoint, and the Jets being, in theory, so much higher in their development, that you pair those two things together, you look at this animal in the mirror of yourself. I think that's where the Jets had a lot of advantages. Zach Wilson's played against this exact same defense, more talented version on the Jets side, throughout the entire training camp and offseason. So I thought when he got the chance to go against a lesser version of it, I thought he would excel. Excel to this level, maybe not, but spectacular. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't add to that at all, Paul. I didn't even think about that they basically play the same. Add a list to another quarterback who can't do anything against our defense. You can add you can add this quarterback, the rookie of the year, who couldn't do anything. God, I hope
And
he's okay. I
leading
think
passing going in here. I think that's important to know because maybe some people would be like, "Well, he's C.J. Stroud." He was leading the entire league in passing yards, not rookies. The league. He deserves to be on that elite list that the Jets have completely shut down this year. And I hope someone out there makes a Darrelle Revis 2009 graphic. We have that famous one where it's Revis's face and all the receivers he shut down. I hope someone makes a Jets defensive graphic with all their stoppings of elite quarterbacks. It deserves to be made. This has been a spectacular year from that perspective.
I know it makes me a little frustrated about what the season could have been with Rodgers healthy.
Yeah.
I know all capable backup, but I mean, after this game, I can see now how Salah would say after the press conferences, Zach gives us the best chance to win. Zach has all the talent in the world. You could see it. I mean, it's just not there every week.
Frustrating.
He made Paul. He made a scramble, another scramble, and a throw over the middle. I think it was to Garrett. He got pressured. He ran to his left and he threw back sort of over the middle of the field, and it was like, uh-oh. I was like, oh, and it was like a perfect strike. And I'm like, he had such a rhythm and I think he was confident. I think he was motivated. And I don't know, Paul. Let's just carry it on to this week, and who knows? Maybe we can make a run. I'm another maybe it's a delusional take, but after this game, and we played Miami tough the first half last game, we have no excuses not to be able to play. If you can get some semblance of Zach in this game, we could win. I'll say it. I'll say it. And the offensive line, Paul, the offensive line was solid most of the game.
Yeah, all things considered, and think about it, they lost another guy, brutal. Wes Schweitzer basically is out for the year. You have to be out minimum 4 games. There's 5 games to go, but he's likely out for the year. It wouldn't make sense probably to bring him back for just 1 game. So Wes Schweitzer's out. They bring up Hansen, this guy who's never played in the NFL before. You plug him in at right guard. Mitchell at right tackle. He gets hurt during the game, although it sounds like no serious injuries from that perspective. But yeah, it's just been this wild revolving door. And by the way, where the hell is friggin' Roger Saffold? Apparently, his fat ass ain't in shape, I guess. But a former Pro Bowler, I thought, man, at least at some point you could crack that one. He is cryogenically frozen on the practice squad, so no go on Roger Saffold. But still, to your point, to think about the volatility of this line and the fact that they held up as well as they did, and in the moments that they didn't, this is what Zach Wilson brings to the table that Tim Boyle didn't, Trevor Siemian, none of these guys. The athleticism to roll out. He had a couple of nice escapes. That Garrett Wilson one was the coach's no, yes, of rolling out, throw back to the middle of the field, and just finds Garrett. Those are exciting splash plays, man. Spectacular. Wow.
Exactly. Paul, also the run that he scrambled that he inadvertently fumbled. That was a great play. I mean, he's, like I said, if you get the sack, and what you said about the trading him, he's going to be traded.
Yeah, now, looks like it, according to that report. Yeah.
Right. So now you're like, well, maybe now we'll get a 4th, but now maybe.
Exactly, because that's the thinking. Because I'm curious here, NY Jets FL here is that so okay? There's that report that came out that the Jets told Zach, "Hey, buddy, we're trading you in the offseason, and a mutual parting of ways." Right? So he plays out of his mind. So then there's 2 things now. Does he just increase his trade value? And the Jets are like, nice, great. We get even more than I thought. Or, and I don't know what's true here, what's possible. Does he play so friggin' well? The Jets are like, aha, see, that's why we had him behind Aaron Rodgers, and now we will do it again. Now, they'll probably, no matter what, decline the 5th-year option on his contract in May, but he would still have 1 year left on his deal through 2024. So is that still possible? Can he play his way back into the Jets plan? I know they told him they'd trade him, but sometimes I tell my fiance something today, but means a little something different tomorrow based on new intel, new information. So maybe the Jets get new intel or information. They call a quick audible. Wait a second. Zach Wilson, you ain't going nowhere. I don't know.
Anything's possible, Paul, and anything's possible with him. I mean, look at the flashes this guy has. You could see he can play at a very high level. I don't know if he could be elite, but who knows? His ceiling is through the roof. If he can somehow have some kind of consistency, which I don't know if that's possible. You really
Well,
don't
we'll
know.
find out this week. This Dolphins game, I think, is big. Now, he didn't get a chance, obviously. That was the Boyle game. That was actually Boyle's first game after taking over for Zach. But I will be intrigued to see what Zach Wilson does in a game where the Jets have some repeat film to use. Again, Zach Wilson was not utilized in that game, obviously, but this is a good op. Can he build it in back-to-back? We saw it week 4 against Kansas City. You're like, ooh. And then week 5 against Denver, there were moments certainly for Zach, but obviously it was nothing like Kansas City. Can he put back-to-back performances together? That's the Robert Saleh stacking days. I think that if he does another one of these kind of performances where he plays so well, now all of a sudden I think the narrative starts to change. One game, a lot of Jet fans, understandably so, are a little tepid. They're like, oh, okay, this was one game, but for me, I go crazy over the top. When this happens, I'm like, he's going to the freaking Pro Football Hall of Fame, baby. I'm in. Zach Wilson, he's back. He's our franchise quarterback. I believed it the entire time. Never doubted you. Never disbelieved. I'm in. But then if he has another bad performance, I'm like, oh boy, time to trade him. I guess it's time to move on. So I ride the roller coaster. It gets a little crazy every once in a while, but you got to put yourself out there. Yeah.
That's the life of being a Jet fan. I mean,
That's for sure.
It's the most insane life of a football fan there is. There really is nothing as schizophrenic, with all due respect, as being a Jet fan. I mean,
they keep it.
I'm thinking playoffs again, and I'm like, I have to be insane to be thinking about playoffs. But if we can get and I rationalize it by saying, hey, if we can beat Miami,
start thinking this piece.
Schedule.
I know. Before the show, someone said again. So here it is. Here's the tankathon thing. If the Jets would have lost today, they would hold the 4th overall pick right now. But I don't care about any of that because, like before the game, if they lose, you're like, well, all right, well, you can get one of those top guys. Now that they win, I'm like, tankathon, schmakathon, playoff time. Switch the graphic, baby. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Let's get to the playoffs. That's what I'm talking about. We're crazy bastards. There's just no other way to put it. Yeah.
That is the truth. That is the truth, Paul.
Well, brother, thanks for popping on the show. I always appreciate it, man. So keep the good love coming. Maybe we got a back-to-back win next week. Maybe. Who knows?
Thanks, Paul. See you in the morning.
All right. Will do. Yeah, you too, pal. For Boy Green Daily tomorrow morning, Italy will be joining us on that. So, guys, feel free to check out the morning show if you prefer, 7:30 a.m. All right, let's go to my boy. He's been waiting. He has been patiently biding his time. He's been waiting by the old cellular because he's like, I need to get on the show. So let's go. And that rhymes, baby. Let's bring him in. What is happening? KO.
Paul, what's up, man?
A repeat performance. You're back, baby. Okay.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah,
the people have been craving you, man. Welcome back.
Definitely. One thing I can sit there and say, it was good to see Zach play like this. I felt that they coddled him. That's why he maybe played the way he did. Just let him play loose and free, nothing to worry about, and things like that. Minus the one little fumble. He needs to slide. He has to slide because even like the last time he had ran the play before he got hit, he took some shots. Get down, please slide. Avoid the injuries, like little things like that.
Agreed.
Please just slide, bro. But
especially when you get in the free. Like he had the yardage. It was early down. It wasn't like it was 4th down. It was that on 4th down. I understand getting crazy to do what you got to do, but it was like, I don't know, 1st, 2nd down. Like, dude, take your yardage. You got now slide. Play it safe. You're the quarterback, man.
Yeah, please. Because it could be just the wrong hit could just finish his career. Anything, but it was good to see Breeze, Tyler Conklin. It was good to see them guys getting into Garrett Wilson. I'm happy for him because he been throwing tandems a lot, getting open, and it showed. He gets open. Get the man the ball. Get him the ball. The defense we already know they gonna play. They gonna ball out every weekend.
Elite.
Really. Honestly, it was good to see. Who was it? It was Quentin Jefferson. It was a sack party. Him, Jermaine Johnson.
Nice.
Bugatti Bryce. It was good to see them guys get the quarterback. It was a beautiful sight.
We need to sign Bryce Huff immediately. We just need to. He's just so friggin' good, man. There's just no wasting. No more time needs to be wasted here. I think we all know he needs to be signed. Here were the official totals. The Jets finished with 5 sacks this game. Quinton had 1. Solomon Thomas had 1. Shout out to Solomon. He has a new career high in sacks. He's a great rotational piece this year for the Jets. So shout out to Solly. Bryce Huff had a sack. They just kind of totaled it for team. There's just a general team sack because there was like 4 or 5 guys that got involved. And then Will McDonald had his first full sack of his career. He had a half sack earlier in the year. So there you go. Yeah, it's a sack party, baby. And everyone was invited from the Houston Texans. Beautiful.
Yeah, it was a beautiful sack. It was good to see Quincy flying around as per usual. CJ Mosley got to come up with that pick.
Come on. And Michael Carter the second. MC2 should have had that pick too. I jumped out of my chair, went intercept. I'm like, oh, son of a, come on, man. Had the Butterfingers before the game. Sneak over to the concession sesh. Come on, man.
I guess that's why them guys play defense, But hey,
I guess that's why Mosley should have had a couple this year. Let's be honest. He's dropped a few. Like, dude, come on, man. Go to the Jugs machine or something, man.
Exactly.
He's been great. So, but I'm nitpicking a little bit. Come on, catch the ball, man. Catch the
ball. Offensive line, they stuck with it. They stuck with it and stuck with it. It's good to see them continuously, try to run the ball and not get away from run after 2, maybe 3 plays. That's what I like, because Hackett gets away if it's one negative play. And I'm like, bro, you gotta keep running. You gotta stay with it.
Commit. You gotta commit.
You gotta commit to running the ball.
Mackay got beat pretty bad a couple of times. So I've loved Mackay all year, but boy, he was getting beat like a redheaded stepchild out there. It's like, good Lord have mercy. Zach Wilson got hit once, and his body just went, boop, boop, and I was like, Jesus. It looked like he got shot in the back, like it was a drive-by.
I think Will Anderson. I think he hit Mackay with a spin move. I believe. And
who's that other kid? Jonathan Grenard? Yeah,
Grenard,
he had 2 sacks. Grenard. Okay, thank you. Yeah, he had a couple, and I'm like, good Lord. He beat Mackay a couple of times. Again, I think Mackay's been pretty solid all year, but this was not the game of the year. That was looking a little rough for old Mackay.
I believe, I missed the heavy Mackay because he was a load to deal with. I believe maybe he dropped a little too much weight.
I've heard that before. I've heard people say that before.
I think he should stay around 350, maybe 355 or 360. But he dropped too much weight where it's like guys can just doing anything. Because when he was heavier, guys couldn't do anything. Once he got his hands on you, it was over. That was it. And even down to I remember last week it was saying that we was project. I think we had the number 2 pick if the draft was to happen tomorrow. And I want to say shout out to my LSU boys, man. Shout out to Malik Neighbors. Shout out to
Jaden Daniels, a Heisman winner. Yeah, amen.
Shout out to my LSU boys, man, because they look good. Honestly, and I'm all for us getting a franchise offensive tackle.
Me too.
Yeah, honestly, we had to. If Joe Alt was there, we had to get him immediately. Joe Alt, a couple guys.
Yeah, Fashanu is another one. I like him.
Penn State. But it's a couple guys that I believe if that number 2, like if we had number 2 pick, I said got to take Maserati Marv, man.
That would have been amazing.
Yeah.
That would have been amazing.
Unbelievable.
This win now probably, as I prognosticate, probably takes about it right now. I tweeted it out. The Jets currently, as it stands right now, would hold the 8th overall pick. If they would have lost, they would have had the 4th overall pick. So kind of an inside track there. 2 and 3 are 3-win teams. So the Jets, again, it would take New England and Arizona going on winning streaks, which I thought New England would win on Thursday, but how many more can they win? Same thing for Arizona. So it gets a little sloppy, but the Jets will probably be, outside of something crazy, probably somewhere in the top 10. We'll see. Of course, they could chase the playoffs, but TBD on that.
Yeah, like honestly speaking, even if we pick in that 10, so it's a lot of talent.
Oh, sure.
A lot of positions, and I'm like, I want to get this player or that player, even I don't know how true it is if they're gonna part ways with Zach at the end of the year. I don't know how true that is. I don't know if that's
it's hard to know the real truth here because we've kind of heard everything from both sides. But so whether or not the trade stuff will happen is still kind of TBD. Yeah,
because let's be real. The Jets, they say one thing and do a whole different thing. So,
that's true. That's also true. Yeah.
And hey. Like even I like Michael Penix from Washington.
Oh, I love that kid from Washington. He's a freak. The only thing that scares me is all the injury history, which again, if people look that up, it's scary, all the different stuff he's been through in his life. But man, he's stupid talented. I love the suit. I love the fit. Very nice. All the teammates and coaches inside the suit at the Heisman ceremony. I see you. I
Yeah,
see Penix. Okay. Okay.
yo, I like Odunzi too. Odunzi,
Oh yeah, another good one. Hmm.
he's definitely a field stretcher. He catches everything. Who else? I like Johnny Wilson too from Florida State, the 6'7"
Ooh.
receiver.
Okay.
He's 6'7" with speed. He can stretch the field, and I'm like,
Hmm.
wow. Like, I'm like, he might be a tight end coming into the NFL. I'm like,
Yeah,
let's
it could be.
go to tight end. You're a mismatch nightmare day in, day out. I wouldn't mind it. But I
Hmm.
like to see Jeremy Rucker, Long Island in the building. I'm from Long
Of
Island.
course.
Long Island
Yeah.
is,
Respect.
he's finally getting his chance to do his thing because he can play. He's a baller. I watched him play at high school. I watched him play at Ohio State. He can really, get out there and grab passes. He's a great run blocker. So it's
I
good to
hope
see
he gets
him.
more ops. I love Conklin. He looked really good with some of the 50-50 balls today. Hope
Yeah,
Rucker gets a chance. Uzama's probably done here with the Jets, but yeah, I'd love to see Rucker get more ops for sure.
yeah,
He
man.
showed some pop tonight. Yeah.
Yeah. Jeremy Rucker's tough. He's definitely a tough one. Who's another one? But
Yeah.
as far as our offensive line, I like the Titman move to center. I love that
Yes,
move
very nice. Hmm.
because he look a lot more comfortable playing center more than anything. He
Oh, for
does.
sure. I
Yeah,
agree. Yeah.
it's like he's more on cue with everything, and I like that. Let's put another guard out of this draft. Let's get a tackle and build our foundation. And
Mm.
because Carl Lawson's out there, I believe. I believe he's gone. I think Lawson's out
Yeah,
of
he's
there.
going to be gone. They might even cut him before the end of the year. He just keeps being inactive. You can't really,
Yeah,
for some reason, it's not vibing. It's not vibing.
yeah.
So maybe just move on and let him go to a contender or something.
You know,
He's a free
and
agent anyway at the end of the year. Yeah,
and we save money too. We got because the cap space is
correct.
going up. It's going up in 2024 again too. So
Significantly. Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
so we have money to play with, and I say let's bring the young guys in. I listen. Shout out to Tony Adams. I've been a big fan of
Ooh.
Tony Adams. Tony Adams is a baller. I believe he don't get enough credit, but Tony Adams he's playing everything. The run, he's covering good. He's always in the right position. He looks good. I
Yeah,
say
nice
let's move
pass
on.
deflection. Shout out to Tony. His shout out to
Yeah,
TA.
yeah. And I want us to get another safety in this class too, because I'm over Jordan Whitehead, honestly speaking.
Yeah,
But
I don't blame you.
we were supposed to have Chuck Clark, a guy that got hurt in like OTAs,
Hmm.
so
That's true.
and we got
We'll see.
we traded a third round pick for him. And I'm like, wow, like we got to stop,
It was a little less than that. I think it was a sixth or seventh
yeah,
conditional, but still, he's obviously he's a talented dude. I'd love to see. He's a free agent to be. Could he and the Jets kind of come together and say, "Hey, it didn't work out injury wise. Let's run it back and see." I'd love to see that.
yeah.
He's a really talented kid.
Or
Yeah,
even with Becton, I believe that maybe like, hey, let's give you a prove it deal to see if you
I'd
could
love that.
bounce back. I would like that move. Honestly, I would like
Give
that
him a
move.
chance if you can. He may
Yeah,
want to try to get the bag, and maybe he could get it from somebody because he's young and
yeah,
offensive tackle is important. But obviously, there's been the injury history, and then like there's been some of these games this season. Like again, he got beat bad in this Houston game today. I can't remember, was it the Giants game? It was one. It may have been Giants. There was one other game
Giants.
earlier this year where he got beat really bad too. So
Yeah,
again, he's
by Kayvon.
talented.
Yeah, by
Yeah.
Kayvon
Oh yeah,
Thibodeau.
KT. Yeah, that was definitely the
Yeah,
Giants game. So I'd love to bring him back though because I really like him a lot
but see, it's like I don't like it. Wait, it's weird with him because I seen him go against Hassan Reddick and really
Hmm.
hold his own,
Yeah,
and I'm
he
looking
has
like.
moments.
Yeah, like man, how you getting beat by subpar pass rushers, but the good ones, you holding.
Go figure, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
look, I'm not disrespecting anybody. I'm just saying, like,
Of course.
Hassan Reddick is a well-rounded stud on that defense, and I'm like, how is
Hmm.
he holding his own against him? But guys like the Thibodeau and because I just saw,
Random dudes. Yeah,
yeah,
don't
just
make no sense.
had a way with him. Well, and Matt Judon, Matt Judon's a beast.
Sure. But your point,
Hey,
Grenard, like, I don't
yeah,
consider when I think of the top pass rushers in the NFL, I'm going through the list. I'm hitting a few names before I get to Grenard. But
yeah,
he gave him the business today. I don't know.
yeah.
Very odd.
But Joe Douglas, like he got some making up to do as far as with the
For
offensive
sure.
line. He really does. He has to really invest in the O line. I don't bring in any free agents. Let's start through the draft. Let's bring them in from the
Okay.
draft. That's what I would rather do, honestly. Lakin Thompson got one more year left on his deal.
Yeah, he's in at least for next year because of the restructure, so he's back. So I'm trying to think.
Okay.
So left tackle's up in the air, left guard's locked in. Titman, I'm sure, is going to be your center. ABT,
Yeah.
is he guard or tackle? You have to answer that question. And then Dwayne Brown is set to be a free agent. He's probably going to retire. So you got to figure out the tackle thing. You got to figure out the tackle thing for sure.
But see, you know what I don't understand, Paul? Like, all right,
Yeah.
I remember leading up to the season, you know, it was a report that Saleh. As a matter of fact, I watched the press conference. He was like, "Oh well, McCoy needs to go out there and win the job." Like,
Yes,
but you hand it to a old, Dwayne Brown. I'm confused.
Yeah.
Like, it don't make sense to me at all. Because honestly speaking, on that first drive with AR. Mekhi Becton's not looking to cut the defensive end. Like, he's looking to get his hands on them, and if he get beat, all
I
right,
hate
so
that decision. Yeah.
yeah,
The
that
coaching
like
staff made
honestly,
them both cut. I
yeah,
wish we
that
could
was
go
dumb
back.
to me. That was stupid. Like, why would you do that? That makes zero sense. But shout, I've been very brutal, and Nathaniel Hackett, he called a good game today, but
Damn, he played a damn good game today. So shout
yeah,
out to Hack. He went
yeah,
into
shout
the
out to
bag,
him,
baby.
honestly.
Loved it.
But sometimes, if some plays, he's getting me a little, frustrated. I'm like, bro, why are we running? Like mix it up. Don't run 2 straight times and throw on obvious down. Like, mix it
Yeah,
up.
I hate that. That's
Yeah,
super
like,
annoying. It puts
come
Zach in
on.
bad positions and this O-line in bad positions.
It
Yeah.
does exactly, and then that's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta become more like decisive in play calling. Like, come on, bro. Like, please, give him a chance. And it's so crazy because I was looking at the playoff picture, and they say we mathematically in it. And
It's
who
true.
else did?
We're alive. Yes.
Yeah. So if guys like KC takes Buffalo down, if Minnesota takes down the Raiders, it's like it shoots us up back in the race.
There
And I'm
is.
like,
There's
wow, like,
combinations of stuff. And
yeah,
plus, we haven't talked about it on the show yet, but Aaron Rodgers, if you do all your stuff, all of a sudden, whoa, is A-Rod back for a game, in 2 weeks or something. So, yeah, baby. Yeah,
that'd be a beauty. But like
yeah,
I told you, look out for my little brother Lyric Samuel.
that's right.
He's going to Texas for the All American Bowl. So he'll
Oh,
be
nice.
he'll be on CBS, ESPN with the top 100 recruits. So that's going to be a beauty, and I
Thanks for the
can't wait.
shout out there. Very
Yeah,
nice.
man, I can't. I really can't wait. And I'm trying to think who else we can add. Well, I like Jamie Sherwood. I like him actually.
Yeah, he's had some pops this year. He's obviously limited because the health of the other guys. They run a 4-3 scheme, but they don't normally have all three linebackers out there.
Yeah.
Normally, Michael Carter gets on the field in nickel for base
Yeah.
NFL. But still, in the moments that he's come up, he's had a couple big ones. He had that forced fumble, I think, earlier in the year. They gave him a chance back. That may have been the Chiefs game. So yeah, he had some moments this year.
But
I like
remember, he's a converted safety playing linebacker.
Correct.
So
yes.
And I like that move too. I think that was a smart move. All right, hey, let's put you at linebacker. You got the speed, you can cover. You familiar with playing the run and doing this and doing that. So that's good. He's only going to grow and get better. So I like that for them. Quincy Williams, if he's not all pro, I don't know. Something not right.
Something's wrong if he ain't,
Something's
because
wrong. If he's not all
he's been
pro,
running around.
Yeah, he's been playing out his mind, literally. Hair on fire. He plays sideline to sideline. It's a beautiful thing to watch.
And shout out to Mosley. He's having another career year. He's on pace to break his tackle total, his career numbers. So Mosley's been playing crazy.
He's like number 6 in the NFL in tackles right now. So
rightfully so.
That's the captain. So he's been the guy. He's been doing that for years before he became in the league. I watched Matt Bama too. He's always around the ball, right place, right time. But I'm really thrilled. I think we can go on a little run. I believe honestly we could go on the run. We can really do something, I believe. And wow, if like that'd be like a huge topic, you guys snuck in the playoffs, like you guys got some losses. But I believe honestly, if we start fast, if we play like how we did now, if we was doing that all year, we'll be a way better team. But they didn't, they gotta let Zach play. Let him play. That's
100%. You got to let him play.
You have to let him play, because if you say,
he's the guy.
Yes, because he showed he could run. We all know he can run. We know he can throw the hell out of the ball. He can. It was good to see him set his feet. He was setting his feet and he was throwing the ball. It was nice to see that. Very nice to see that.
Well, I just want to say, thanks for kicking ass and being back on the show. We got to have you back on again. So every week we're looking forward to it, brother.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming on, man, and good vibes.
Yeah, no
go
problem. Ahead. No problem. But I know you go on in the morning. You know, I'm a garbage man, so I'm out on the truck dumping trash. You know, by the time I get back in the truck, I'll be, oh damn, I missed the show. 'Cause, I'll be trying to hurry up and catch it and get my little ones and twos. But,
well, look out for it. Keep sending those comments in, man. We'll highlight you on the show. We appreciate you.
Of course. Yeah.
Thanks, brother.
All right, Jets Nation.
There we go. Joining us here on the program. That's awesome. All right. Beautiful, baby. The Cam 631 laser hotline is buzzing, baby, here. And we've had someone here waiting for a hot second. So let's go right back to it. Honest Abe. Honesty is an important virtue in our world, so let's get some honesty here on the program. So Honest Abe joins us here on the program. What's up, Honest?
Paul, it has been too long since you and I have spoken.
That's true.
At least in person.
That's true.
Yeah. I can't believe what I saw today. That first half was absolutely everything I expected. Crap offense, incredible defense. We talk about all the time how we dominate quarterbacks. I had no doubt that CJ Stroud was going to look like a rookie today. I had zero doubt in my mind about that. You take out Tank Dell, even with Nico Collins if he was healthy, and give him every offensive weapon. This defense is too good. The cornerbacks, the trio that we have, I'm going to take as much homerism as I can out of me. Sauce, DJ Reed, and Michael Carter might be the best cornerback trio the NFL has ever seen. And a lot of that, I mean, let's be real for a sec. I'm really trying to take the homerism out. We are in a time of the game where that slot receiver is so important and so hard to cover. Back when even the Jets' heyday, which is disgusting to say, in the 09 and 2010s, and you have Braylon, my guy Braylon Santoni on the outside, and
flight crew,
Jeremy Curley, like that's the prototypical slot receiver. But we're in a day and age now where the offense is so more open that you're putting the Devontae Adams of the world in the slot. You're putting Steph Diggs.
Of course.
You're putting your best.
And they could go in, out. It's very hard to guard. Very hard. Yeah.
Very hard to guard. And now you take a guy like Michael Carter, and you're just like, yeah, you got him. The fact that he's probably the best slot corner in football, I mean, it says everything. The Jets tried to do this back in that time frame, right? You had Revis and Cardi on the outside, and they drafted Kyle Wilson. Be that guy, right? That was the mindset. Give Rex credit; he saw it before it happened. This is how we got to build a defense. And Kyle Wilson just happened to be hot garbage. It is what it is.
Terrible. But the Rex Ryan mentality, though, you can never have enough corners, because remember, in that 2009 AFC Championship game against the Colts, they ran out of corners in that second half, then Peyton Manning picked them apart. So, like, Rex went, oh, okay, I know what I need to do here. So, an important quality. So, you can never have enough good ones, and boy, the Jets have had some dudes, whether it's those three or even deeper in certain situations, the Eagles games and others, where they've had to coach guys up. So shout out to Jeff Ulbrich, Tony Oden, that entire Jets defensive coaching staff. They've done a marvelous job this year. Marvelous.
There's no chance Tony Oden is on the coaching staff next year. It's as much as we say Nathaniel Hackett, no chance he's here. No chance Tony Oden is here either, but for very obvious and different reasons. Oden's going to get himself a defensive coordinator position somewhere. I mean, he deserves the resume, show the tape. Absolutely 100%. Zach Wilson today. I can't, dude. I'm speechless. I'm really legitimately speechless. When I was backstage, I'm thinking like, what I'm going to say about Zach Wilson. I have nothing to say. I just can't believe what I saw today. Just everything made perfect sense to have a bad day. We see what's going on with the Raiders and the Vikings right now. I think it's 0-0 still late in the fourth. Yeah, that's what I figured this game is going to be like today. I texted.
It was that way at halftime. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're late. I think 2-minute warning in the fourth quarter. We're still 0-0. I can't.
It is now. The Vikings have the lead. It is 3-0 now with less than 2 minutes to go. But I just mean from the Jets-Texans perspective, you were right. It was scoreless at the half for the first time in 4 years to have an NFL game scoreless. But no, that just goes to show the point of like, wow, it seemed to be heading. The rain, the wind, like all these reasons, and the fact that Jets have just been terrible on offense. All of these factored into that kind of game So to have 30 points offensively all in the second half, whoa, mama, that unbelievable.
And for Zach to throw 300 yards today, we've seen it through his career. As bad as he's been in poor weather, he might be the worst quarterback in NFL history in good weather. But in bad weather, he's definitely like up there as the worst of all time. And to do that with Paul, I have nothing to say about Zach. I'm just so it's incredible.
I'm overwhelmed by it, quite frankly. Overwhelmed. And shout out to him. Consider all the shit this guy went through this week. Excuse my Guatemalan, right? The question, the reluctancy to play. Hey, we already know you were told you were going to be traded. Like all kinds of crazy crap this week. Plus, obviously, he'd been playing poorly and had been benched multiple times. And then for him to come out here with all that weight on him and just to deliver arguably the best game of his career. It's not the most passing yards. He had that in the New England game, but it was kind of a wild 355 that he had in that one. Then you had the Lions 300 one before too. But this was the first one, which I didn't even realize till now, the first one that came in a win of his 300-yard passing performances. Man, he just looked on it. Even in the first half when they were scoreless, it just looked like there was something upstairs that maybe wasn't there before. But it's hard to point to anything when it's scoreless because you're like, now we're grasping at straws here to say, wow, a lot of progress, still scoreless, but a lot of progress. So to see that translate in the second half, I think was really important for Zach and for all of us from a perception interpretation standpoint.
I really felt like Coach Solly, a couple weeks ago when he said the offense, we're so close. We're just so close. And that's what a few drives in the first half felt like. You going down the field, that 3rd and 4, their first drive, and then he takes that bad 11-yard sack and he got to punt it away. That's rough. That's probably his worst play of the entire game. That's worse than the fumble. I'm cool with the fumble. That's more of a learning. Like, yeah, it sucks. Don't be as aggressive. Learn to slide, and you'll be okay.
And that was the only points they gave up because the Texans, it wasn't 2 field goals. The Texans scored a touchdown, missed the extra point. The only touchdown they got was on that fumble. So if you take that away, maybe the Jets get the shutout as they were hoping for in the postgame. They were talking about it, that they really wanted it. Maybe they get it without the fumble. So pretty crazy.
And that extra point missed by former Jets, Matt, don't call me Danny Amendola.
Classic Amendola. Classic.
God, Amendola. Real quick on the offensive line. I know it's It was a revolving door today. Tippmann was out for a little bit. Max Mitchell was in and then out. I'm not sure what the deal was with that, but overall, the Jets. I believe that the pass blocking of the offensive line has gotten a lot more crap than it's deserved over the season.
I agree.
I think that they're not having the cleanest of pockets, but they're giving enough time. I think overall the run blocking of that unit has been just absolute utter hot garbage. In a game today where the Jets should have had 150, 200 yards rushing, with the weather, with being up, with being able, you should just be pounding the rock. To get under 80 yards of rushing is absolutely disgusting. And Keith Smart is the one that has to take accountability for that at the end of the day. It's been talked about all for the last 12 months that the offensive line is in shambles and needs a lot of work. And I'm totally on board. It does. We don't know Becton's deal next year. What's Lakin when he doesn't have a good left tackle next to him? There's so many other things that go with it. But overall, the run blocking is really what's been holding this team back as a whole. Because you can't run the ball. You can't expect any quarterback when the defense knows he has to sling it to do anything. And I think that's the overall issue with the entire offense, not the play calling, not even the quarterback play so much, but the run blocking and how piss poor it's been all season, where defenses know you simply can't run on us. Even bad defenses know it.
Yeah, that's a part that I'm struggling with because when you go into the offseason, I openly am wondering this. It's not rhetorical necessarily, but like, man, to have essentially both offensive tackle starting slots open. Again, what are you doing, Mekhi? Is he cool coming back on a bridge deal and then he's competing for a job and then you have him in the room? Great. Because if you don't, let's say he walks, Dwayne Brown retires. You have 2 starting tackle situations, not even talking about depth, just the starters in question for Aaron Rodgers, he is 40, but will be going into the 40-41 season because he'll turn 41 during the year. Like, that just isn't ideal. So you're going to have to get pretty uber aggressive, both from draft, free agency, trade, however creatively you're going to fill those holes. That part is concerning of what that plan looks like. And Joe Douglas, so he's gotten a lot of crap for his offensive line plans. That's a big plan that could totally change what this season could be for the Jets if they don't get that part figured out. So, yeah, that's a big question.
I do give Joe Douglas a lot of credit for at least going out after offensive linemen, right? There was no point where, Mekhi Becton was drafted. Was he the right pick at that time? You can make that argument for Tristan Wirfs or, whoever else and every draft since then, but at least give Joe Douglas the credit of giving it a shot, right? We talk about, the whole QB2 and he didn't go out and do anything. Well, with the offensive line, he's at least gone out there and tried.
Hey, I just want to throw this in. This just came in. The Vikings beat the Raiders 3-0. They dropped to 5-8. Unbelievable. So we just got that in there. Who sent that? Gohan Anger. Thank you for that. I can't believe that happened. That also angers me that the Jets lost to the Raiders in the first place. You think about, and again, I know you can't go back in time, but that Raiders game was there for the take. Of course, Zach Wilson was driving him down the field. The Chargers one, I know the score is crazy. That was there for the take. And there's a couple of these that you go, New England way earlier in the year, like, geez, hello. So there you go. So Raiders lose. That can only help the Jets, and we will see. Buffalo, Kansas City is tied. They're halfway through the fourth quarter at 17 all. Broncos beating the piss out of the Chargers, which is good news because the Jets have the tiebreaker over the Broncos, not the Chargers. So you want the Chargers to kind of fall out of it so you don't even have to deal with that. So that's more good news. Herbert actually got injured in this game. You hate to see injuries. So, thoughts to Herbie. But that's other good news for the Jets. So, again, they got to handle their own crap, and that's what we've talked about forever, especially that Raiders-Chargers run. If you don't handle your own crap, it's not going to matter. If everyone loses that needs to lose, you need to do your own business, which, again, will be difficult against the Miami Dolphins on the road. But I like the moxie of this group heading into that one. So, again, we'll have to do an update probably tomorrow morning, I'm sure, on the playoff action, where it all stands after everything plays out tonight. But maybe.
Never say never. Never say never,
That's
as they say in the real world. But it is very exciting seeing games like this and just the what could be.
Thank God.
What could be. Zach Wilson finally looking like, hey, remember back a couple years ago when he was the number 2 overall pick? Like, oh, that guy's still in there. When they just give F it and just sling it. That first drive after halftime, 75-yard drive with 0 designed run plays. I never would have imagined that in my entire life. I would never have told you that that's going to happen. Never.
Yeah. Wild. Absolutely wild. So again, shout out to Zach. Shout out to this team. Again, I said it in a little YouTube short that's up on our channel, but I want to repeat it again that we needed this as fans. The Jets needed this. The locker room needed this. Quite frankly, obviously, Zach Wilson needed this. We need to kill all these negative 5-game losing streak vibes. And is Aaron Rodgers coming back? Are the Jets going to playoffs? I don't know. Okay. But what I do know is we needed that to now let's rock and roll. We could a collective sigh of relief and let's friggin' roll. We enjoy Victory Monday tomorrow. I'm just friggin' fired up, man. It's just been too damn long since we had a win. We only have 5 of them this season, so you got to savor the flavor while it lasts. But thank the Holy Lord above. That one just felt good to, and not only win, to kick someone's ass. Like the Texans, like they're not some scrub ass team. This is a team that was in the thick of the playoffs. Again, we'll have to, I won't even update it because like everything's going to change, but we'll update it tomorrow morning on the full impact of everyone losing, moving around like the Steelers and Texans and everybody else. But again, to beat a team like that and to beat their ass with a rusty steel pipe, juicy. Friggin' love it.
And everyone's talking about how the Texans and the Jets, they're the same team. You know, they got the same defensive coordinator from the same system. They both had the 2nd overall pick, and the Jets suck, and the Texans got a guy that's actually a good ball player. How'd that work out today for you, fellas?
Oh, that felt good too. Look it in the mirror. Look what could have been. Suck on this, baby. Booyah. And hit him with it. So
the whole CJ Stroud for Zach Wilson, Derek Stingley for Sauce Gardner. You gotta love it.
I think I know where I reside. Honestly, Abe, thanks for popping on, buddy. Hopefully we see you on a future live stream here.
I will talk to you soon, my friend.
All right, there he is. Honest Abe joining us. I love everybody. We got someone else waiting, so we're about to bring him on. Guys, the Cam 631 Laser Hotline. Love all the activity tonight. This is phenomenal. The most we've had on any of these live streams. Take advantage. It is the pinned comment on YouTube. If you like to jump, vent, react, discuss, whatever you'd like here on the program, we appreciate you. So let's go back to that Cam 631 Laser Hotline. It's popping right now. We got Johnny. What's up, Johnny? What's popping, baby?
Boy Green, what's up, brother? Hey, man.
Oh, what's up, man?
How does it feel?
So sweet, so good. Come on, man. You know, I know there are some fans that are upset, and you know what? If you're going to be upset and the tanking and the this and the that, again, I talk about what is of the nature. If the Jets lose, of course, it's natural to look at how you're affected by this, that, or the other. Okay, fine. These wins, man, we wait. And I just said this to someone because someone brought it up, said, man, you must be pretty bummed that the Jets won because that hurts your tank and all that. I'm like, no, not at all. Like, we wait all year for this moment right now. What we're experiencing is the Jets regular season. You only have in our new world 17 of these across 18 weeks. And if you don't make the playoffs, it's over and we're talking offseason again. And all those conversations are fun, but there's nothing like the season, the get in the gear. I'm wearing the Zach Wilson jersey right now, ramping it up. Man, we got this game, whether it's 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 8 o'clock, doesn't matter. We ramp up and unify as a fan base to get ready for the game. So I never take that for granted. I love these moments. So while some people can whine and complain about tanking, that won't be me, pal. I'm enjoying this win. I'm savoring it, and I'm thinking about the playoffs and Rodgers coming back and all this fun jazz. We could talk about the draft stuff in due time on the channel after the season's over. We will have those conversations and episodes and experts on, but I'm freaking litty over this win over the Texans.
Boy Green, and the other thing too, man, you play sports, right?
Yes, sir.
Right? Same here. We never woke up in the morning and was like, you know what? I'm going to lose today because it's going to help me get a better draft pick.
Yeah.
Like these dudes, that's loser mentality, man. And we need to get out of that, man. Look,
yeah,
I'm at the docks. That's why you see me wearing all this stuff like that.
That's okay. Yeah, I saw someone said Adrian said you got thrown into COVID protocol, which, of course, safety first. That's okay. We appreciate you calling in this emergency scenario that you're like, hey, baby, I need to carve out time for this. I respect it. Yeah.
I think I got the flu. I just came back from Cuba. And
wow.
So I was in my man cave, and my wife's like, when are you going to go to the doctor? I'm like, after the Jets finish playing. Bro, that's how diehard I am, dude. So look, and the other thing too, man, what a game, man. Zach Wilson, Randall Cobb, Breece Hall.
Who had that on the bingo card? Zach Wilson to Randall Cobb for a touchdown? Well, what the hell? Cobb's active? Great.
Did that not look very Aaron Rodgers?
It did.
Type of thing with the whole drag route being put right there. I mean, it was such an easy touchdown, and look, Zach Wilson, man, I've been very harsh on that dude. I think we all have, right? But at the end of the day, we always wanted and hope that he could be the player once he gets it in between those ears of his, right? And maybe this unlocks something. Maybe it didn't. We'll see, man. I mean, one game at a time. We got Miami next. A new thing that I'm working on. This is other caller that a lot of people know. You might know him too, Mr. Bonesy.
Yes.
So after the game, right? Like I can be all positive and everything, but like starting tomorrow, I have to be negative, right? Because if I'm negative towards the game, it gets us that W at the end of it. A little bit of reverse psychology on there.
I see.
So that's what I'm trying to do, man. I'm trying to do everything I can to put it in the air. But hey, boy, game, man, I appreciate your 7:30 streams in the morning, man. That thing is awesome. Cup of coffee. Me and my wife listen to it. So
that's awesome.
Keep up the good work, brother. We appreciate you, man. JETS, Jets. I wish I could go make some sweet, passionate love to my wife, but I can't. So
that's right, of course. For safety protocols, we understand. But in due time, let us know when you get that in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. JETS, Jets.
There he is, Johnny. Phenomenal. And guys, so if you're new to the stream, by the way, I heard someone say it earlier, trying to get me to 6,000 subs. We've been kind of stuck in this rut. at like 5.4 thousand subscribers, somewhere in that ballpark. So if we could get a blitz to 6, that'd be phenomenal. So keep it coming, baby. We appreciate it. We try to give you a little bit of different flavor here. We got the live shows every single day. Holidays, it doesn't matter. Every single day live at 7:30 in the morning is Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show. It's also available wherever you find your podcast for about 20 minutes and change. So guys, feel free to check out those episodes. I have a guest every day on the show. Here are a couple of the people we have this week. Italy Jet. He's on every Monday, Ryan Delaney. He's coming up on Tuesday for a Jets Talk 24/7. We have Jeff Magliochetti on Thursday. Brian Miller, my Dolphins buddy, will be joining me on Friday coming up. We got Ty Butler on Saturday, and then Woody back on Sunday for a game day Jets Dolphins preview that's coming up later this week. So we got the live show every day at 7:30. We have a couple of original videos. We have a Zach Wilson trade one. You guys can check that out on the channel. We dropped that this morning. And, of course, the post-game shows, which are 2 hours after every Jets game. We come on live here on the program, guys. So feel free to check out all those different products. Like I said, tell a friend, tell a Jets friend. Been doing this for a long time now, so appreciate all the support you guys have been given. So a couple of final thoughts here. Jets kick ass. They win 30-6. Get off the 5-game losing streak, Schneid. The vibes are immaculate. Zach Wilson looks fantastic. Shout out to him. I mentioned Solomon Thomas. He now has a new career high in sacks. Quentin Jefferson has a career high in sacks. All these dudes that are stepping up to the plate. Jermaine Johnson, another guy who has career high in sacks. Like all these guys, Bryce Huff, another guy who's got a career high in sacks. All these guys that are stepping up to the plate. I shout out this team. I love this team. I'm excited for this team, and I want to see what else they could do. So let's do what we can and just get a blitz, and let's get aggressive, and let's go chase it, baby, and try to see what we can do. We got 4 games left to play here. Jets-Dolphins rematch next. The Jets played the Dolphins incredibly tight. One of our guests on the Cam 631 Laser hotline said that, and then all hell broke loose with the Hail Mary, or whatever you guys are calling that. But we have a chance to turn this around and rally the troops, and let's see if we can make some magic happen. So, guys, we'll be back tomorrow morning live at 7:30 for our Jets show. And then again, of course, for the post-game show a week from today. That is the show. If you guys would like to get interactive and jump on the video call, you can do that. We also read the comments here on the show, whether it's a live morning show or what have you. Jets win, baby. Jets. Jets. Tomorrow morning, we'll give you an update on the playoff picture as all the games are kind of settling here late at night. Looking forward to that. Playoffs? Oh, yeah, baby. We're here. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 7:30. Take care, everybody. Go Jets.